Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Mr. Snow, and this one is all about the Evercade. It's a new retro handheld released recently by a company called Blaze, and the great thing about this is that every game is fully licensed with currently 10 different carts on the market with up to 20 games on each cart. They also have announced another 4 that will be released in Q3, with more plans on the way. But today, this is all about the machine. So it has come as actually a decent sized box. This is the premium edition, which is currently retailing for around about 80 quid. There's a starter edition for about 60, which comes with the handheld and with the Namco Museum Volume 1. This one comes with the Atari Collection Volume 1, the Interplay Collection Volume 1, and the Namco Museum Volume 1. So let's have a look at what's inside. So again, nice wee sleeve, and it comes in a really pretty red box. Let's have a look at what's inside. So I'll open it this way. Ooh. So you have your quick start guide, manuals again, which again comes in several different languages, which is very handy. And actually, like I've seen videos and I've seen pictures of this online, and it looks like a handheld, and it actually looks quite small, but whenever I've actually opened it up, like this is it here, and it actually seems to be a pretty decent size. That's actually not a bad size, for a handheld, and for something, that is compact. So I'll keep this box here because there's more goodies underneath. So yes, so this is the console in white. There was a black edition, which was like a special edition, but unfortunately sold out of that last year on the pre-orders. So you have obviously a very solid feeling directional pad and 4 very solid buttons. There's good. It definitely does not feel cheap. It feels like it's really well made. There is, I don't know if you can hear that satisfying click from the 2 shoulder buttons. You have your power button at the top, and this will be for your mini HDMI for connecting it to the TV. And at the bottom you have your volume, which again, there's a nice good click off them. Obviously your sound, your headphone jack, and your USB charging slot. And then on the back you have your slot for your cartridges. So yes, so all in all, obviously you have, again, your buttons, your start, your select, your menu button, and then your speakers on either side. So very much a really decent, feeling console, definitely. I have seen other reviewers complaining about the start and the select being very close to, the 4 buttons, and accidentally hitting it. And I'm sorry to say, but I would actually disagree with that. It does not feel like I'm about to hit, accidentally hit the start button, as I'm playing, because I think it's just, maybe people are just nitpicking for the sake of it. Okay, so we'll get this out of the way. And underneath, we have our games. So we have Namco Collection 1, which has quite a few selection on there. I'm not actually trying to see how many is actually on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11 by the looks of things on this one. with the likes of Pac-Man, Galaxian, Xevious, Dig Dug. You know, there's a real good selection of Namco games on that. Then it says on the front, there's 11 games, Andrew. Read the front. So fantastic. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the Atari Collection Volume 1. And this one has 20 games on it. And I've actually noticed that the age rating on this is 12. On the Namco one, the age rating is 7. So clearly, you know, there's slightly more grown-up games on this here. But again, like the Atari 2600 was the first console that I owned. You know, and to be able to play some of the classics on a handheld is going to be fantastic. There are some amazing games on here. You've Adventure, Centipede, Asteroids, Crystal Castles was a really good game. You know, so that's going to be one that will be tried later on today. And last but not least, the third game is Interplay Collection 1. And this one has 6 games. But again, they're games from the 16-bit consoles as opposed to the 8-bit. So you have the likes of Clay Fighter, Earthworm Jim, Incantation, and then Booger Man is another, obviously 16-bit title. But again, a fantastic collection of games and really well worth having a blast. Last but not least, the last thing in the box is your USB charging cable. So the fantastic thing is this is obviously then, you know, universal. You know, it's region free. You know, you're not having to worry about having the right charger for the right console. So yes, so that is the unboxing of the Evercade. And next up, I shall be trying out some of these games. Okay, now I have unwrapped each of my games. We shall have a look at the games themselves. So this one is the Interplay Collection 1. And open it up. You have your cartridge and a colour manual. And the manual, I've heard lots of good things about the manual, has colour pages detailing each game, you know, that is contained on the cart. You know, so you have just things about the game, you know, like developers, publishers, you know, what year the particular version was released in. You know, even the genre. So I've got there, there's things, you've got tips and stuff, you know, for games. It is definitely a very, very well designed little manual, and definitely one, you know, that should be well looked after. Right. The cartridges themselves are, you know, quite a standard shape. You know, they do. And if I remember rightly, you slot them in like so. I can get it in. Okay. So they are quite, it is quite hard, stiff. It is quite, you know, hard to get it in. But, you know, once it's in, you know, it fits perfectly into the console itself. You know, so, you know, there's nothing really sticking out. It looks just like a solid unit. So we shall turn it on. I don't even know if it's charged. It is. So this is what you're faced with when you turn it on. like that. Okay, so you have your options. So you can obviously scroll through. And I have to say, well, I'm just going to play this for a wee second. Like, there's real good. The sound from the speakers is extremely loud, you know, which I like. So, okay. So you have your menu, right? So go through things like screen ratios, your background, oh sorry, your brightness. So you have your screen ratios, you have your brightness, your audio, your language, and then all the legal jargon that they always include. So yes, so that's the menu. So the screen ratio, you have your original size, or you have full screen, which is the original size is a 4:3 ratio, and the full screen I think is a 16 by 9. So yes, so it is very much a it's so far so good. So we shall start with the worm himself, Earthworm Jim. Turn it up. Again, you know, like the graphics are very much you know, faithful to the the originals. The emulation on it is actually really good, you know. Like, this isn't a very well planned video, by the way, but you know the controls, you know, it's very responsive. I definitely have to say, you know, and the buttons again, you know, it does not feel cheaply made. It really doesn't. The buttons are very robust. There was an issue at the start about the button mappings, though that has been changed, and you can actually map the buttons to, you know, various controls. But all in all, I have to say that with just giving this a couple of minutes, you know, it is very, very impressive. And I shall do a game review later on in the week. I will get a few of the games tried and give my overall impression on the quality of the games that are on offer and how well the machine actually holds up against those games. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and look out for part 2 later in the week. Thanks for watching.